It's part of football fan culture to know every stat and figure about our favourite teams and players. It helps us feel closer to the sport if we're stuck behind screens or in the bleachers. But even with all that research, most of us don't know about some behind the scenes or neglected players who brought glory to our teams. And that's a new level of disrespect towards those ballers. This is why today's list is all about them. The forgotten, the most disrespected ballers of all time. Our first baller in today's list is pure explosive power on the pitch. Ryan Babel, Dutch centre forward and winger. Babel came out of Ajax with a blazing right foot. Fans thought he'd take over the Premier League when Liverpool signed him in 2007. But Rafa Benitez frequently had him benched. With a decade of being written off, it's easy to forget his clutch goals, like the iconic strike against Lyon in the UEFA Champions League. Kenny Dalglish, former Liverpool player, even said that Babel's mastery with the ball and pace could terrorise defenders. He was no pushover. After all, he'd built his career across Germany, Turkey and even La Liga. True fans remember his standout moment at Besiktas and Galatasaray, having played over 300 career games and scored in basically every league he touched. Babel still never got enough appreciation. Next we have Giovanni dos Santos, one of the most versatile players in football history. Not only was he a flawless forward, but he was a deadly midfielder, winger and striker. Debuting with Barcelona in 2007, he soon became known as the new Messi. The 2007-8 La Liga season's winning final game saw him score a hat-trick against Real Murcia. But constant managerial challenges and being shuffled around clubs like Tottenham and Villarreal snubbed this rising star. Still, being a creative, skillful footballer, Dos Santos continued scoring and assisting in both offensive and defensive. He showed critics what he was made of in the Mexico vs US 2011 Gold Cup final, where he scored his wonder goal. Fans continued rooting for him, but injuries and inconsistencies held back his raw technique. Another criminally underrated midfielder is Japan's Shunsuke Nakamura. Four-time J-League MVP and Scotland's Player of the Year, Nakamura is critically praised for his incredible left foot, with Steve Perryman going as far to say he could open a tin of beans with it. On the field, he was a playmaker, known for his pinpoint accuracy and ball control. He made it through Yokohama F. Marinos, but he made it big with Celtic in 2005. The 2006 Champions League saw him land a 30-yard free kick against Manchester United, sending Celtic to the knockout round. Even Alex Ferguson was stunned. Well known in the field as he was, earning 98 caps for Japan, Nakamura never did get the fan following he deserved. Now, let's talk about the Balkan genius, a baller with a vision sharp enough to split the defence down the middle. This was Dragan Stojkovic, one of the only 5 Star of the Red Sea awarded players. Selected for the World Cup All-Star team in Yugoslavia, he was the captain during the 1998 FIFA World Cup. Then Stojkovic moved to Marseille in 1990. But just before he could reach his full potential in Europe, a knee injury reared its head, and he missed Marseille's 1993 Championship League final. While he was fit though, Stojkovic was unplayable. In the 1990 World Cup against Spain, he scored the 2 goals that won Yugoslavia the 2-1 round. Many of his fans are star players themselves, including Zinedine Zidane. Despite the recognition, however, few football fans these days know about him. Stepping onto the pitch next is JJ Okocha. A Nigerian maestro with feet blessed by the football gods, Okocha made defenders look like cones. He won the crowd at the Eintracht Frankfurt, where he made his iconic goal against Oliver Kahn in 1993. who admitted that it haunted him for years. Then Okocha moved to PSG, becoming a cult favourite at Bolton Wanderers in the Premier League. That's where he truly shone. Rainbow flicks, dragbacks, roulette turns, all in a league known for grit over glam. He helped Bolton reach the 2004 League Cup final and even captained them to European football. Then there's Mario Balotelli, a striker known as much for his unpredictability as for his raw ability. Not only could he finish with power and finesse, but he also had the strength and vision to create space and chances for others. He made his professional debut with Inter Milan in 2007 and later joined Manchester City. At just 22, he scored one of the most iconic goals of the Euros 2012, taking Montolivo's pass and smashing it past Germany's keeper in the semi-final. Despite helping City win their first league title in 44 years, his off-field controversies and clashes with managers often overshadowed his contribution. One of Brazil's smoothest midfielders, Ganso, never quite got the spotlight he deserved. Calm under pressure and blessed with vision, he was once seen as the heir to Kaká. Ganso broke out with Santos FC in 2008, forming a deadly duo with Neymar. While Neymar brought the spark, Ganso controlled the tempo. In 2010, his performances in the Copa do Brasil and Serie A had fans and critics alike buzzing about the future star of Selecao. But recurring injuries and stop-start spells in Europe, with Sao Paulo, Sevilla and Amiens, prevented the level of fame he could have achieved. Up next is Ravel Morrison, a midfielder once hailed as the most naturally gifted player to come out of Manchester United's academy. Not only was he technically flawless, but his ability to glide past players and defences made him stand out. He made his senior debut with Manchester United in 2010, and coaches like Sir Alex Ferguson were convinced he was something special. His brightest spell came at West Ham, where he scored a stunning solo goal against Tottenham in 2013, picking the ball up in his half, driving forward and calmly chipping over the keeper. Despite bouncing between clubs across Europe and the Americas, Morrison never went unnoticed by true fans of the game. He was a player who, to this day, doesn't get enough credit for the sheer talent he brought to the pitch. Jose Manuel Marino. Our player at number 7 is among football's earliest all-time greats. He kicked off his senior career with River Plate in 1935, becoming a core part of La Máquina, the legendary forward line that redefined Argentine football. Moreno won 5 Argentine league titles, helped River dominate South America, and became the first player ever to win league titles in 4 different countries: Argentina, Mexico, Chile, and Colombia. Even with his achievements, his name often gets lost. Now we have Juan Roman Riquelme. He is the Argentinian midfielder whose calm control and effortless passing defined an entire era of South American football. Riquelme made his name at Boca Juniors in the late 90s, winning multiple league titles and the Copa Libertadores. A move to Barcelona in 2002 didn't work out, but he found his rhythm again at Villarreal, where he led the club to the Champions League semi-final in 2006. His ability to dictate tempo and pull strings from deep midfield made him a niche favourite wherever he played. He wasn't flashy or fast, but he saw the game like few others could. Riquelme remains one of the most gifted playmakers the game has ever seen, yet somehow is still underappreciated. Starting the top 5 most underrated ballers in this list is the Austrian forward Matthias Sindelar, often called the Mozart of football. Leading Austria's Wunder team in the 1930s, Sindelar had football IQ, finesse and dribbling that left defenders stunned. In 1934, he carried Austria to the World Cup semi-finals, scoring key goals against France and Hungary. His most iconic moment? In 1938, after the Anschluss, Austria played a so-called unification match against Germany. Sindelar refused to celebrate his goal, a silent protest against Nazi pressure. Tragically, his life ended in mystery just a year later. But with over 600 career goals and global praise from legends like Gianni Brera, Sindelar remains one of the most gifted ballers that history seems to be forgetting. A legendary baller who rarely comes up in discussions about football icons is none other than Michael Laudrup. An all-rounder who specialises in attacking midfielder. He's highly regarded among the pros for his dribbling, ball control, passing and vision. Laudrup played for both Barcelona and Real Madrid, showing his talent at La Liga. He was the mastermind behind Johan Cruyff's legendary Dream Team, helping Barca win 4 consecutive league titles and the 1992 European Cup. His most iconic moment? He overpowered Real Madrid 5-0 in El Clasico, and then did the same thing the next season for Madrid against Barca. Despite the trophies and jaw-dropping talent, Laudrup was always underappreciated. He even skipped Denmark's 1992 Euro winning campaign. But for those who watched him play, he was untouchable. It's time for the greatest of the greatest. Here we have Ricardo Quaresma, the Portuguese winner whose unpredictability defined his game and perhaps cost him the spotlight he deserved. Starting at Sporting CP alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, Quaresma was supposed to be the bigger star. His technique was powerful. Outrageous trivela crosses, no-look passes and dribbles that left defenders dizzy. He had stints at Barcelona, Inter Milan, Chelsea and Porto, but playing times and conflicts with managers dimmed him. Whenever given freedom, he came alive. He scored the clutch winner against Croatia, winning Euro 2016 with Portugal. Then, the outside foot goal versus Iran in the 2018 World Cup. A trivela masterpiece that reminded the world of his genius. While Ronaldo got the headlines, Quaresma played with a style that couldn't be coached, rarely getting the credit he earned. Our second most underrated baller for today's list is Morocco's Adel Tarabat, the prodigal player who turned the championship into a freestyle arena. He broke out at Tottenham but was rarely trusted. It wasn't until he joined Queen's Park Rangers that Tarabat showed his full arsenal of pure, unadulterated talent. In the 2010-11 season, he dragged QPR to Premier League promotion almost single-handedly, with 19 goals and 16 assists, all while playing like a street footballer in the stadium. Nutmegs, long ranges, solo runs, he did it all. However, off-pitch drama haunts his career. Managers struggle to contain him or find a system that suits his free-roaming style. Still, when Tarabat was locked in, he played like a showman from another planet, one the football world never quite knew how to handle. And finally, at number 1, we have Hatem Ben Arfa as the most undeservedly disrespected ballers of all time. Now retired, he started his career in 2004 with Olympique, coming through France's famed Clairefontaine Academy. Ben Arfa's left foot could do insane things. Tight dribbles in traffic, abrupt acceleration, and solo goals that went beyond logic. Lyon was where his career began, but clashes with teammates and coaching staff had him moved to Marseille. He eventually ended up at Newcastle United, and this is where he delivered one of the Premier League's greatest solo goals. A full pitch dribble and finish. This unforgettable play was against Bolton back in 2012. Despite the legendary skills he had, discipline issues and benching, including a total exile at PSG, destroyed his momentum. He was even named League One Player of the Year in 2016. Truly, when he played, he made magic. Whether underrated or overrated, football legends deserve praise all the same. These are the sportsmen who bring thrill, passion and joy to our lives with their hard work and dedication. While it's fun to be a fan of certain players, it's also good to look into the other footballers too. You might find a new favourite. That's the charm of football. It's a sport for everyone.